You hear a lot of stories, though, about athletes who don't have an easy time coming out the other side of sport, and it's a hard adjustment when they don't all of a sudden have this free time and don't have something to channel that competitive energy into that they had for so long. Any advice for kind of coaching someone through that?
Yeah, I think the athletes that have a hard time is when they have nothing of fulfillment that they're moving to.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I never had a gap, right? It was like, for me, it was, professional sports to uh, being a professional in the military. So that took a lot of my time, effort, and brain power. So maybe I just didn't have time to really miss it. But I was just really quick to move on to the next thing. And everything that I've done in my life, I feel like, maybe I'm just convincing myself this, but I feel like I've always enjoyed the thing that I did next more than the thing that I did previously. So I think it's just having a game plan of transitioning out of being an athlete and understanding what they want to do and moving on to that thing.
And as a coach who's helping someone through that, giving them, the opportunity to reflect on where else they might find fulfillment and
Hmm.
enjoyment, where they might be able to channel some of that energy in their life.
Yeah, I think with athletes, it makes it really clear when you ask people, with anyone, right? It's like, what do you want to be doing when you're 55? And most people are realistic enough. Let's say this is like a real sport, right? Where it's like you have to be at your peak to compete at this thing, and there's no like masters, there's none of that. Um, they'll look at that, or they'll think about that question, and immediately they'll know that they can't do the thing that they're doing right now when they're 55. So just ask that question: what do you want to be doing when you're 55? And likely they won't know the answer to that, but it gives them something to chew on for a little bit and think about that. And then maybe have a follow up conversation on like, hey, where are you at on that question I asked you last month? And I think that can start to open up some really good conversation in terms of like, that's what you want to do when you're 55, you're 25 now. What does that transition look like to getting there? It's almost like talking about what do you want to do in fitness when you're 60,
Yeah.
right? And like, are you doing those things to set you up for that today? Um, yeah, I think it's a very similar conversation.
So you said real sports right there, Carl.
Yeah.
I heard that, and then the notion of like, not sports that have masters categories where you.
But I wasn't saying that sports that had masters categories weren't real sports. What I was trying to say was, I was trying to be like very specific in like a sport that, let's say a
There's a
sport like,
limited
yeah,
lifespan.
let's say a sport like basketball,
Yeah.
right? It's like if someone's playing basketball at a really high level, they understand that there's no like life after that high level unless they do it recreationally.
Yeah.
So if they want to do that thing at the highest level, it's going to end at 30, 32, maybe 35 for some people. Just watched LeBron last night, and he's 36, and he looked like shit. So, that he's even pushing it, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you ask LeBron, what do you want to do when you're 55? He's gonna have to think about it because he knows it's not going to be basketball at the level that he's at right now.
Yeah.